Man, the Dom's Ferry hit me midday. Never good. It's always better when the comes at you and you fall asleep, wake up, you got a little bit of soreness, it's hard to move. Never good. It's midday. That means you're gonna fall asleep. You're gonna wake up. It's gonna be way worse. Um, but anyways, I am here. This is Munchies with Max, and I am Maximilian Mormont, Coach Max, and we are Max Fit USA, CrossFit Costa Mesa, and I got my boy Mikey Wins on the 1 and 2. Today, we got a quick one. I got a great snack. I'm excited. But let's start off with a little bit of barbell cycling and why we are so specific of kind of touch and goes and speed on the bar, and how speed development is one of the key things that we're trying to get from athletes when they're trying to develop just in speed in general. It is somewhat hard to almost kind of develop speed outside of just either sprinting, or you can do plyometrics, you can do resistance training like over speed running. You can do a bunch of stuff, but the type of speed development that you get from transferring force into a barbell and repetitively very quick is something that you can't find in any other kind of apparatus or training mechanism. So we ask our athletes, and specifically CrossFit athletes, but I feel like all athletes in general need that ability to handle, one, the technique and the efficiency of doing 3, 5, 7, 10 reps. Now, 10, 15 gets a little much. Today, we did a workout where we're holding on to 15s quite a bit, right? But a lot of us have been training for a year plus. It makes sense why we've been asked to do that. If we were newer, if we were freshmen, it could make sense not to really push that or be told, hey, you can go ahead and split it. It's okay. But the amount of movement pattern, technique, and being able to oppose a force and then take it through a range of motion is amazing. And there's really nothing else that will teach you that besides barbell cycling and touch and go. The conditioning of it, you get a bunch of time under tension. You get a lot of blood pressure through the grip. And I find that the diastolic rate gets a little bit more trained in that barbell cycling or barbell conditioning, more so because most of the things that we do is through like systolic rate or breathing heavy, and being able to hold your breath at the bottom of the squat or through some of the movement is pretty crucial. But there's just so many benefits from it, and understanding why we're doing it and why you're doing touch and goes is pretty important. So hopefully that helps. I'm excited for my snack. Oh man. Woo. Now, the problem here is actually not eating it all.
I figured that was it. When it comes to this, I'm the same way. I'll just sit there and just eat the whole thing.
Yeah. And you try to eat it fast so that way you don't put it away. Okay, so I got Ben and Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie. It's like a treat. It should be. It should be a weekend.
It is a treat. It's not like a treat.
It should be a weekend. Okay, so 3 servings per container. 2/3 of the container is 350 calories. 36 grams of sugar and 6 grams of protein. A third? Is that what I said? If I eat the whole container, it's 1,000 calories. Right out the gate. Just take take that 1,000 calories. Go.
60 grams of fat if you eat the whole thing.
Yeah. No, 54. No, 54 grams. Just a mere 54 grams of fat.
Did you tell me today? Round up.
Round up 55. 18 grams of protein. So 20 grams of protein. And 127 grams of carbs. 108 of them from sugar. Oof.
And then probably what? 8 of it from dietary fibers? It's not a good percentage. It's still so good.
6 grams. Dietary fiber. 21%.
Oh, that's kind of cool. MyFitnessPal has a calorie breakdown. So in your 260 calories in the serving, 52.3% of that is carbs. 41.5% of that is total fat. And then 6.2% of that is protein. So ice cream is basically 50-50 carb and fat.
So then I crank it up.
Did you put PB powder in there too?
I did.
Okay. Same thing as yesterday?
Same thing. 40 something grams. I probably
Coming out as 3 fuel. Coming out as 3 fuel.
That's true. I was trying.
Just make sure the logo is always facing out.
I was trying that, and it was like backwards. I couldn't figure it out. And then when I'm drinking, it's not really right side up. So it might be really good.
Yeah, there you go. There we go. Sponsored by 3 Fuel. Not really.
But yeah, the protein. So what's that? I said it's the whole thing 18 plus my 42. So
Are you gonna sit there and eat the whole thing?
no. No.
Because you're adding 18 to the 42 that you're drinking right now. So that only means you're gonna eat the whole thing.
Well, no one likes to set themselves up for failure. You know,
it's not failure, it's success.
so
Successfully eating the whole carton of ice cream.
So that when you don't, you're like, wow, I accomplished a lot. I only ate half.
So in one sitting, you got 51 grams of protein. If you ate half.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. Right? And carbs, 50 grams, 42 grams, 50 something.
It's a good snack. You've been on it for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve a little bit of ice cream.
I also feel if I balance it, I don't hit like a real bad crash from it, or at the same time, I don't get a spike from it. I don't feel like I store it as much. I just feel like I burned it better, rather than just eating pure carbs. And that's kind of why I bought those meat sticks too. Or getting like into beef jerky, trying to get a little bit more protein somewhere else. But okay, man, loud. I'm loud today in my ears.
Down the volume a little bit.
Oh man, okay. So today's workout, Mikey. I saw somebody die over there. It was like,
did you see somebody die from it?
no. So I saw somebody die. I'm not gonna mention any names or anybody, but did you break up your snatch?
The second one, it slipped out of my hand on the 11th one.
Oh,
Everything else was unbroken.
oh, nice. A little water got you.
Yeah, I pulled it too fast on the 10th one, and then it slipped out of my hand. So I like caught it and then brought it down to reset. I was trying to go unbroken all 5 rounds. That was like my goal for today.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was on your second round. I saw, I think it was Abdullah did like a 14-1, so it might have slipped out of his hand too. You could tell he was kind of pissed about that one.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to go unbroken all the way through. Like 95. That was I know I could do it. It's just I wasn't prepped for my heart rate to get that high.
Well, I mean, if it's a second and you came back and held on to it, then it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But, all right, what do we got here?
So we got, I'm looking in the fit track right here, and our average time for the fit track was 22, and then 23 for the ladies, and then any modification after that. So like the fit plus or the functional or lower than that was around 28 for the men, and then 23 for the ladies. Louis setting the top score here at 1950 for 5 rounds at 75, followed slightly behind with Q at 75 at 20 minutes and 55 seconds. And then as Mario, 21 minutes, 6 seconds at 75 as well. On the ladies' side, we have Taylor T at 55 pounds, 21.51. Ashley Pratt, 21.52 at 55 pounds. And then Christine, 22.56 at 55 pounds. Pretty fast. In the modified side, we had Little Wes here at 45 pounds, 22.3. She's moving up in the ranks here. Tazeen leading the pack at 35 pounds, 17 minutes, 9 seconds. Regardless of the weight, that's fast.
Those are good runs.
Yeah. Muscles by Mary here, or Mary Poppins, Mary DePaoli. 22 minutes, 52 seconds. And then on the prescribed side, is that 95? That's 95. On the prescribed side, Presurin leads the pack with 20 minutes, 26 seconds. Jeff right behind with 21 minutes, 2 seconds. And then Mike Yalgren still battling out with Taylor Ingram. 21, 12 seconds. He took this
Mano, those two right now.
Seriously, they're always within 30 seconds of each other.
It's cool. It's cool.
And on the ladies' side, Lacey with 21.59. Yeah, but it might be just us saying, like, putting a mano a mano.
No. Like, just, and then too, like, as a coach, like watching a class where you have two guys that like to work out together. They like to kind of compete against each other. They're kind of similarly built. They have some pros and cons, and then like of what's better than the other person. And then they come within like a couple seconds of each other quite frequently. And then, so some workouts you're watching, you're like, I don't know who's going to win. And I know that sounds really like, not that you want to have all your members and your clients competing and stuff, but to actually watch a good physical race between two guys that move well, It's kind of exciting sometimes. It's kind of
Yeah.
simple things in life. Simple things in life.
It's kind of like watching Dave Ramirez and Steve train together.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Two old timers in the morning. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's at 6 a.m. The old boys.
Yeah, they move well. They've trained together for a long time. They have their pros and cons. Yeah, totally. It's always, you don't know who's gonna get each other for sure. For sure. Sorry, go ahead. What do we got?
Oh, that's it. That's it for today's workout.
My bad. My bad. I had to go. I had to put my ice cream away. I didn't even mess around. I took a couple more bites. I was like, and I was like, no, no, sir, no, sir. Let's get out of that. Okay. So let's talk about the 1,000-yard fitness stare. When you, so someone comes to you as a coach, and you're a coach, and they're like, "Oh man, my shoulder, or my neck, or my rib, or my back, or my hip, or something's going wrong," and obviously you're trying to figure it out, right? So immediately you're gonna ask some questions. Maybe you might have them do an evaluation, or you might do some things, or you might show them some stuff, how to relieve some pain, stretching, rolling out, distraction, probably some movement pattern, some activation, maybe some flossing, all kinds of stuff, right? You're throwing a lot of cool stuff at them just so they feel like, hey, I have some stuff I can take home, some stuff I can work on. I'm going to get some good relief. You give them a referral. You're like, hey, look, this might be a lot of stuff, but if you just want it all together so it's easier, and then somebody to actually look at you, and then, just like I'm a professional, there's other professionals, and then, refer them to like someone like Curium, and then telling them, hey, go get some work done. And then again, still spending time with them, and then helping them through this process. And then you watch them just get in their car and leave. No stretching, nothing that you just taught them, nothing that you told them to do. And then like week in, week out, for the next couple of weeks, you don't see them do anything. Now it's lucky a little bit more. I mean, not lucky, it sucks. But with COVID, they could hide from me. So then when I give them a hard time about those type of conversations, and I ask them, hey man, did you roll out? Did you stretch? Did you, do the things that you're supposed to be doing to take care of those problems? Most of the time they're going to talk to me like, yeah, okay, I kind of done it, but I don't actually get to see what was prescribed and them actually doing it before or after workouts anymore. They get to hide that a little bit. That's a bummer. But however, the fact that they'll ask all those things and then never do it just fires me up. So if you ask me for something and you get some really good homework or some really good information, make it happen. Make it happen. Now everybody I talk to today is like, shit, what did he say to me? Did I do something wrong? Am I not doing what his coach is asking me to do? Like, no, we're all good. Coach Mesa, you rocked it today. I was just speaking in general.
And then you're gonna be like, I'm generally staring in your area, but I'm the only one in my area.
Yeah, that's why. Sweet. Tomorrow, Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. Did you have a good national, what did I say? Medical checkup day? Did you get checked up?
Medical checkup day.
Did you grab your balls and cough? Is that the hernia the hernia
That's
test?
the hernia check. The hernia check, yeah.
Yeah. And that's a scientific check. I'm not just making these things up, Mike.
I know. I've gotten a physical. I had to play sports back in the day.
This is a legitimate question. How funny would it have been if I would have told you, yeah, man, I mean, I should get a physical. I haven't gone in a while. But if I was like, yeah, I got a sports physical today, and you're like, why? I was like, I just wanted to make sure I was still able to train. Just because it was national
Check-all day.
tomorrow.
I did schedule a blood draw. Was it blood draw?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I can test my Korean test against the American test. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that with Nathan tomorrow. So this tomorrow is International Youth Day. That's exciting. Yeah, hell yeah. I love kids in the sense that how they develop in the sports and also in life. I know mine have taught me so much that I would have never thought was possible, and I'm blessed for it. So I'm excited for that. Now I gotta explain to Milo what International Youth Day is. That'll be interesting. What's this look like tomorrow, Mikey? Oh man, I had a bad feeling about this.
I don't know how you have a bad feeling about this when you're the one that wrote this down.
Yeah, but it says on the paper when I go to look at it, or on the sheet, on the Excel sheet, when I go to look at this, like this phase of this year, it's like Monday, squat, Wednesday, squat, Friday, squat, Saturday, deadlift. Like, okay. Okay. Fine. Whatever.
It's actually, I don't know. I honestly believe this one's going to be a fun one, only because you do get that 2 minutes of rest. And then if your legs are strong enough, those 3 front squats shouldn't phase you as much. This might end up turning into a handstand push-up for a lot of people who struggle through the handstand push-ups. But let's get right to it. So it's 7 rounds, 4 time of a couplet of 3 front squats. At the prescribed weight is 155, 110 for ladies, 155 for the men, and 9 handstand push-ups. And then after every round that you finish, kind of like exactly like today, you will rest for 2 minutes in between the rounds. Your time cap will be 28 minutes. Might be modified, but today we had 30, and that was plenty for everybody to get out of. And I believe 28 should probably be plenty for those who can do handstand push-ups.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty well easily accomplished. I think the hardest part for us at the gym is going to be this run.
The in and out run.
100-meter run that somehow gets added up in here somehow. But outside of that, most of this is another one of those kind of squat clean your first one, and then start at the top on the handstand push-ups. Don't start at the bottom. It's pretty simple. Subbing for the handstand push-up, piked from the toes on a box, piked from the knees, and then piked on the floor. I will probably ask those that are at the higher side to use a box, and then those at the furthest part of the mat tomorrow will be on the wall. Let's say on the wall, so that way it's easier just to drag the boxes out and things. And that's about it. It should be something where you're pretty much either in halves or unbroken. Once again, the world of the unbroken. What did Wes said it best? What did Wesley say? He said,
"Max criminalizing singles out here."
That's how that works, man. Just like that. Now we're off to it. It's also these rests. These rests give us the ability to try to at least take the gamble, right? You get baited, classic Hansel and Gretel. But I personally am gonna have to start with 5s and 4s. Mikey probably be able to handle 9s, no problems, and then see if you got that for 7 rounds.
I think keeping well, I don't know, because the front squat, you have that 50-meter run in the middle of it, or 25-meter run, and then a 25-meter run after the handstand push-up.
I'll walk it with the walker. I think it's longer than 25 meters.
Well, no, you don't get your time until you get back to the mat, right?
No.
Yeah, so I wouldn't walk it. You have 4 minutes to finish every round.
I'll have to, yeah.
That's what the 2-minute rest included. So
It's
technically 2 minutes.
smooth 4 minutes. Smooth 4 minutes. Yeah, because if it's unbroken for you, it's going to be a fast one. It's kind of like almost like today, but even faster for some people. But then, like, the handstand push-up's a problem. I don't even know if I can raise my hands right now. I'm so sorry.
And you did bar muscle ups the other day.
Oh man, those things. I mean, bar muscle ups did me. I would say. I would say. But the clubs went, and the other things went well. I mean, I failed at a push up too, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So
at my age, it happens, Mike.
At your age.
Doing three sets of 18 push-ups, and I failed. Oh God!
Oh, what's going on?
I don't know. My elbow hit a button. I don't know. My elbow hit a button.
There we go. Got it. All right. And that's for tomorrow.
Okay. So, ask Coach Max. Remember, just go ahead, hit us up, hashtag Q&A with Max or ask Coach Max. Question: should I do my weightlifting and strength training in the AM or in the PM? Well, there is no right or wrong answer to that. Get it in when you can. That should be priority number one. Consistently, having a consistent schedule is better, but getting it in is your best bet. The second thing that I would work on is finding this time that you have the most energy, which in turn is somewhere around 3 to 5 hours after you wake up. It's also getting it in like a full meal and then maybe like a little bit of a snack, which is probably 1 to 2 hours prior to training. So that's where waking up and working out is very good for general physical fitness. But if you're really, really trying to develop strength or power or technique and things of that nature, you're going to need a little bit more focus than just trying to get sweaty and get through it. I know that my kids at 6 a.m., they get a little bit longer warm up always in most of my class, specifically to get them, one, a little bit more focused, and two, me knowing that they've probably only been up for 20 to 60, maybe 90 minutes at most. And I want to kind of address that a little bit and let their body load a little more. Also, if you think of the energy systems and you're thinking about training energy system versus pre-exhaust, even a weightlifter could go through a program where they're pre-exhausting a lot of their strength biased exercises. So someone like myself, I was always very strong. My technical side of my lifts needed development. So most of the time when I trained, I would always, what I would say, pre-exhausted my strength. So I squatted in the morning, I deadlifted in the morning, I pressed in the morning. I did most of those things in the morning. And then at night or in the afternoon, I did my heavy snatching and my heavy clean and jerking. Even if I snatched, clean and jerked in the morning or power snatched, whatever I did, the focus would be always to go real heavy in my strength stuff in the morning or afternoon. And then at night or in the afternoon, my second session, to really try to still lift at 90% or above. And that was one way of doing it. I did that mostly to get better at my lifts and to increase my strength. If I wanted to go the other way with it and I wanted to train my energy systems, it would be okay as well. So training my power output first and then going into more of my strength hypertrophy with like auxiliary or accessory work, and then doing my conditioning or cool down at the end. So that's how my energy system predominantly fires and works. So it's just better that way. Specifically for strength conditioning, it works very well that way. CrossFit or GPP programs, it works well. But knowing that if you're going to be a competitive CrossFitter or having it in the open, you have to be prepared for having weightlifting perhaps on the other side of Metcon. So not always having it as the first thing that you do. I flip it in our program. I will make us do it first before I'll do strength and Metcon. And then I'll also do parts where I'll do Metcon and strength. And I also do it where we'll do the Metcon first, and then our auxiliary is actually strength or the Olympic lifts. And that's kind of how we'll train it more, almost, let's say, sports specific, or how we're going to see it versus versus actually energy system wise. But again, that could go back to my philosophy as a weightlifter and doing some pre-exhaust prior to develop the better technical aspect of the lift. All right. I feel like that one I got excited about.
Wasn't there like a rule that you said back in the day where you're like, you could always lift 80% cold?
Yes.
Or you should be able to lift 80% cold?
Some asshole told me that. Like he was just he was just being yeah, within one lift. So basically warming up with full sweats, that's really where we got a lot of the warm up. Like the idea of the way we warm up is specifically because of that mentality of being able to hit 80% cold. So if you were going to have to hit 80% cold, you would have to prep yourself pretty well for it. And that's the idea of those barbell lifts, where I've seen specifically athletes do jumps of where they do 5, 6, 7 barbell lifts, and then all of a sudden they go 70, 120, or 140, and then 180 or 170. So within 3 lifts, already trying to snatch 400 pounds. and that's pretty quick, pretty fast. Mostly they do that because they train earlier in the morning, so it's their second session. They only got so much volume that they can handle, and they have to actually try to play that card. And that you get up there, and then you start working with the tonnage at that 90%. Try to hit it 7, 8, 9, 12 times, and then call it a day.
Call it a day.
Call it a day. You got to hit that number, man. You got to chase that number, not the one rep. You definitely got to chase that consistency of the 90, 95. I think that's pretty crucial to developing as specifically a weightlifter, an Olympic weightlifter. But yeah, he was pretty rude, and he would also say, like, if you told him, you know what, I did this exercise where I did a lot of reps, very lightweight, and he would be like, anything more than 1 rep is a lot of reps. Okay.
I mean, technically, he's right.
He's dead on.
Yeah, technically.
When you're right, you're right. Just like the same thing when I would say, oh man, I lifted a bunch of weight today, a lot of tonnage, this, that, and the other thing, and then he would be like, son, anything more than a pound is a lot of weight. And then now you think about it, and you go through injuries, and you go through times where you can't lift any weight. A pound is a lot of weight. He was right. Like, okay. Well, I'm just not going to call you anymore and talk to you. Or I'm not going to come visit you. So that's fine, based on what you're telling me. Whiteboard Wednesday. I feel like this whole session has been somewhat educational. Like I feel like, do we segment over to the whiteboard next Wednesday? Is that what? Yeah.
No. We have enough of that during class.
Okay, well then I'll bring a PowerPoint next Wednesday.
No, you should bring on what do you call them? Why am I blanking on it? Overhead projector.
Ooh,
and the plastic sheets with the vis-a-vis markers. Yeah.
I used to actually record my lifts, and then I would put that Scantron or the plastic sheet on.
Plastic.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I put the plastic sheet on the computer screen, and I would actually draw dots, and I would watch the path of my bar, and I would keep watching it, and I would use different colors, and I would watch the dots and follow the path of the bar and see how consistent I was at hitting those dots over and over again. And that was something that I would do when I would watch film on myself. I was someone who watched a lot of film on myself. I recorded myself quite a bit, but I never like, I would record and lift, but I didn't really like the flow of that. So I always liked the AM session, record, lift, and then watch it, and then PM session, fix it. That was always one of my favorite. Yeah. And then record it and then see what it was like. Tomorrow is again International Youth Day. So I'm gonna probably try to figure out a way to play some soccer or something with my Lito. So I'm pretty excited. Whiteboard Wednesday, basic conditioning program, 2 to 6 times a week. Working on your THR, so your target heart rate, based off of your beats per minute, or you could do perceived exertion. I highly recommend to work off of like a Carbonin formula or something to find your percentages with a target heart rate and use a watch and let it beep, or try to figure out what that type of intensity is and holding it inside of a zone for a duration of time, especially for a basic level and basic starting. You could do obviously like fart lick and stuff like that. I was fart lick. But the best way to think about a very basic conditioning program is doing conditioning 2 to 3 times a week, 2 to 5, but 2 to 3 times a week, 20 to 40 minutes, changing only one variable every 2 weeks. Imagine that I was going to do a 12-week or a 16-week program where every 2 weeks I'm going to change one variable. We are going to also perhaps change the time to come back. So weeks 1 and 2, we're going to do 20 minutes of cardio at 60% of our THR, target heart rate. Then on weeks 3 and 4, we're going to keep at 20 minutes. And we are going to bump our target heart rate up to 5%. So now we're going to work for 65% for 20 minutes. Then for weeks 5 and 6, we're going to bring the clock up to 25 minutes. And then we're going to bring the target heart rate down to 60%. Now, this technically would be changing 2 variables, but the fact that the variable of the heart rate is almost reset and then the time is reset, what we're doing is that we've conditioned ourselves to handle the 20 minutes at 60%, the 20 minutes at 65%, because we repeated it twice. So we created adaptation. And then therefore we bumped it and then reset back to the goal target heart rate of that 60, 65. And then we could keep yo-yoing this thing to see how far we could take this program to be actually able to handle 30, 40, 50 minutes of 60 to 65% of our target heart rate, which is pretty baller. You can do the same thing with 70%. So imagine that I work 70, 75% or 68, 72%, 70, 75%. And I do 15 minutes, and then I do 20 minutes, and then I do 25 minutes. And if I'm able to hold it, that's pretty crazy that I'm going to be able to hold 30 minutes at 70, 75% of my target heart rate. It's a very basic program, but it's a very, very efficient way to build conditioning over the course of, again, 24 weeks, something like that. Yeah, Mikey, next week, we're going to segment over to the whiteboard. Man, I don't even think I'm going to make it out of bed tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
I usually take a small little cat nap, like 15 minutes. I woke up from that today. I felt like I got ran over. I was like, what is going on? This does not feel good right now.
I was sitting on the couch just talking to Jillian after the kids were asleep yet. I was just like, she's like, no, stand up. Go. You've been working at the table at night. Get off the couch before you do munchies. And then I kind of nod out. And then she was like, I told you. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. I got to come back. And then I was stiff after it. And it was literally like a 2-minute knockout. And I haven't been the same since. When did you take your little cat nap? Middle of the day?
Yeah, around 4.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I was hoping to come home. And if all the kids are asleep when I come home at like that 3:30, 4 o'clock time, I'll try to grab whatever I can of the end of their nap. Especially if I'm tired and sore. And right now I am.
I gotta take that 15-minute cat nap, or else I'm not gonna survive for the rest of the night.
Well, and too, when you're watching your calories like you are, it's going to be easier to keep your calories down if you let yourself rest versus, pushing the envelope, and then you're going to want to eat because you're going to be tired. So, whew. Thanks, Mikey. I'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'll be there at 7.
Yeah.
Live coach.
Woo. Live coach. My coach. Mikey wins. Thanks, buddy. Love you, man. Thanks, guys.
See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Do I Normatec now? Would you judge me if I Normatec? Oh my God.
Just use the Theragun.
Oh my